Hello, Chris here. We're at 140 on Twitter and blogging and well on YouTube as well. Which you know that because you're already watching me, so good. I'm about to drink a beer that I've been told is rather good. I got it as a bit of emergency replacement from Ales by Mail.
For one of my beers.
For a stout that, let's be honest, was going to be a bit ordinary.
It wasn't.
It may have been great, but I've been told that this is very good. And there's not much of it in the country either, so really looking forward to it. It's from the Bear Republic Brewery. It's their Racer 5. So, what do we know about this? It's an IPA. It's from America. It's from California. 7% alcohol. ABV, sorry. Women should not drink alcoholic beverages during pregnancy. That doesn't really tell us much about the beer, does it? Also, not to operate in heavy machinery after this. Right, and what it says here is an aggressive styled India Pale Ale, handmade from a brewery whose motto is "bigger is better." So it's a golden, well-hopped, bottle-conditioned ale demands my attention. It's described itself as a next generation IPA. So I've had some really interesting IPAs before, and they're one of my favourite styles of beer. Excuse me. I've not even started drinking it yet. Brilliant. So I'm really quite keen to find out what the best America has to offer is. So let's see. Nice little bottle cap on there. There's a bear. Why not pick that up with the lights? So this is, I've chilled it down a bit from the advice I've had from various other bloggers. Best chilled. It's not freezing cold. I don't think that does it any favours, but it's been kept in a cool place as well, as you should do with your beer. So let's do the pour. It's bottle conditioned, but there's no yeast popped out there. No residue particularly. It's clear as a bell. It's got that kind of slightly characteristic of the West Coast IPAs. It's slightly kind of orangey, I suppose, orangey looking in its appearance. Not too much of a head, but enough to be able to develop one. I could have poured more aggressively and got an enormous head, but I struggle when there's a massive head on a beer to get the nose in there, so I much prefer it this way. Looks nice anyway. Carbonation, small to middling, not massive. So again, I've had some IPAs from over the pond that have been quite aggressive in the carbonation, and that seems to be the way of some of them. I'm looking forward to this. So what's the nose? Yeah, it's almost like an orange peel mixed with ruby grapefruit. Slightly floral. And just a hint in there as well. No, maybe a bit more than a hint, but certainly this is a highly hop beer. I can tell you that. You probably already guessed that from the description, from the name. You probably already knew that actually, if you know much about beer, or I talk about it. It's just a highly hop beer. There's a slight the background smell on this is the smell that comes through in one of my favourite beers, which is the Buxton Wild Boar. It's that same kind of fruit salady kind of honk that you get, but not as strong as some of theirs. So let's see what it delivers in the taste. Cheers. Let's try that again. Carbonation is pretty low actually. I expected something a bit more aggressive in the mouth. It's not. It's pleasant. It's just enough to lift it, and once it's done that, from the minute it's on your tongue actually, you pick up, and it's a characteristic I think I've spotted more in the American IPAs. Maybe it's the higher ABV, but then I've had higher ABV, probably American style IPAs from the UK that don't do it. There's almost a slight thickness. It's quite viscous, and it's not physically viscous, but it gives you that mouthfeel, almost a coating rather than sliding down. It is one that you do want to get around your mouth because, excuse me, there's lots of, well, from the nose you know there's lots of interesting smells, and hopefully that's going to translate into taste. So it's yeah, it's zesty, it's orange peel, it's and not orange peel once it's been sort of cooked in a in a pie or in a pudding or whatever. It's straight off the orange, off the orange. It's got that slight, what's the best way to describe it? I hesitate to use the term, but almost treacliness, because it is very sweet in some parts. What you are, once you've gone past the sweetness, yeah, sweet, sweet, sweet. Top of your mouth just before you hit the swallow, still sweet, and then a really abiding bitterness. I can't really fault this. I didn't want to fault it by any means, but it's going up against, for me, the category that I'm probably most comfortable with in terms of drinking. So it's up against some really strong competition. Well, that's interesting. The burp gives that kind of what is it? It's something I've come across in American beers again. Well, it is an American beer, so why wouldn't they do that? How they achieve it, I don't know. But there's almost like ever such a slight. Chad's gonna hate me for saying this, so if you're watching Chad, sorry in advance. But when you get the burp, there's almost a vaguely metallic taste to it, which
Can't be, it's in a bottle.
yeah. But only on the burp. It's almost like it's the hop characteristic kind of comes out in that way. It's not to say that it's not nice, not to say that it's not good. Where would I want to drink this? It's a 7%er. It's a 7%er. So it's not one you're going to sit down really tuck into. It's not a session beer by any means. This size bottle is just right. You're going to want it chilled down.
Whoa.
The wife likes it, I'm guessing from the noise. She's going back for seconds. Give it back. Okay. I've got a couple more beers to try from this brewery.
Oh yeah, please.
I didn't pick up the apples.
Curious.
Anyway, where would I want this? It's not quite a lawnmower beer because it's not weak enough. It's a beer for when you just want to start a session, I think. But you want to start it with a bit of a head start. Maybe if you're playing catch up, and you go, grab me one of them, and I'll join you on the session beer in a minute. But I've been at work for 2 hours longer than you. I just want to get on it. I don't want to be left behind. Ooh.
It's like apple sweet rather than apple.
It's eminently drinkable. It's an excellent beer. I'm going to go for a rating on there. I'm going to go for a 9. Very nice indeed. But Bear Republic, You have not taken the crown from the king of IPAs as far as I see it so far. Thanks for joining me, and cheers.